We're live. I'm a few minutes late, but that's par for the course. How are we feeling? How are we doing? We are so close to game day. Let's drop the intro and get on with the show, shall we? What is up, everybody? How are we feeling? It's Thursday night. There's no Thursday night football. I kind of don't know what to do with myself. It's been a busy day, but that's why we're here a little later. But it is what it is. Better late than never. What is up, everybody? Nia Perez, what's good? Classes in section. Irvin says, what's up, Raj? Bang, bang, Niner gang. Bang, bang, Niner gang. Debbie wants to know, am I staying dry? I'm trying to. Today was not a rainy day, so thankfully we were able to stay dry. But it's going to be crazy rain these next couple of days. The Bay has been flooded. It's wild out here. A lot of parts of California, not just the Bay, but I know LA has been raining too. They're expecting 8 inches of rain on Saturday against the Seattle Seahawks. It's been raining, man. Like I honestly feel like we're living in Seattle lately. It's a rainy place out here. I mean, I like it. I like the overcast weather, but sometimes it's a little too much. It's been like this for 2 weeks. Even when I went out to Vegas, it was raining. Like it started to rain like crazy that week. I came back. I was like, it's not gonna be raining anymore. But it's raining. Cats and dogs, pigeons, whatever you want to say. It's crazy out there. But how the heck is everybody feeling? I'm hyped up, man. Jaime Hernandez says Central Valley flooding too. Every place is flooding. I know people out in Watsonville, and they had like flash flood warnings, and it's insane out here. So everybody that lives out in California and they're experience floods, stay safe, drive safe, take your time, get your tires checked. That's something you guys need to do. Get your tires checked. Actually, I got my tires checked today because it's been crazy rainy. And I was like, you know what? I need to make sure my tires are good because you never know with this kind of weather. You don't want your tires to be slipping in the rain. But anyways, stay safe. We got to talk about the 49ers. Today, I woke up and I saw great news. It was Brock Purdy was the NFC Offensive Rookie of the Month for the month of December. That's crazy to me. NFL messed up on the damn stats, but hey, it is what it is. Brock Purdy, Offensive Rookie of the Month. This guy, I'm telling you, he deserves to be Rookie of the Year. I mean, if he would have played the whole season, who knows what his stats would have been, right? It's crazy to me. Undefeated. The guy just every week he puts up some new stat. He keeps setting like records. It's mind-boggling. 6 games and he's undefeated. In 5 of the starts, he's only started 5 games. He was also named the Pepsi Rookie of the Week. Like this guy was Rookie of the Month, Rookie of the Week. It's crazy, man. This guy is just stacking up accolades. He's going out there doing the thing. I've never seen anything like it. Let's talk about his stats of the month. So he had a 68.3 completion percentage. This is a rookie making his first several starts in the NFL. 68.3 completion percentage, pretty damn good. He had 1,308 passing yards. He had 13 touchdowns, and he had a passer rating of 112. It's crazy how his stats were, and obviously those stats are all pretty much number one in the NFL over the last month, man. Brock Purdy has been Himothy. The guy's incredible. I mean, Rookie of the Month, Rookie of the Week. What can't he do? Just stacking up the accolades, undefeated. I got a draft tweet. I haven't tweeted it out yet, but I want to kind of talk to you about some of the stats that he has. Oh, it's not on this. It's on my other phone. But basically, I got all these things that he's done. He was like the first quarterback to have beaten Tom Brady, the only quarterback to beat Tom Brady in his first career NFL start. He's also the second quarterback in NFL history to have 6 multiple touchdown games. Just so much, like all the stats over the last couple months that we've been, that they've been posting, all the first time things. I saved it and I was gonna make this giant tweet. I'll probably do it later. It's just crazy, like how good he's been. There was also the stat that we talked about earlier in the week where Brock Purdy set the 49ers franchise record for touchdown passes as a rookie. It's 13. I know it's not a huge number, but I mean, he set a record as a rookie, and he's played 6 games. Absolutely unbelievable. Can he keep it going? That's the big question. Like, that is the question going into the playoffs. That is a big X factor to me. Is, will Brock Purdy be able to keep this up? I think he can. I hope he can. And we need him to, because Brock Purdy, again, this is the first time he's ever going to be playing in the playoffs. Playoffs are built different, but the team around him is special, right? You have so much talent around Brock. He's poised. He's played the 6 games, and they were 6 big games, right? He comes in against Miami, who at the time of the game he played Miami, they were the flavor of the month. Oh, Miami! Can the Niners stop McDaniel and his offense? Miami this, Miami that. Miami got bamboozled, and they were flabbergasted. Obviously, defense had a big say in that game, but Brock came out and he was rolling. Right? He came out. They played Tom Brady and the Buccaneers, and all the hype. Oh yeah, Tom Brady this, Tom Brady that, and his family bought tickets to see Tom Brady. They got to see him start in an NFL game, his first career start, and he goes and slays Tom Brady. Goes and beats the GOAT. And then all these other games, Washington, that was a big game. Seattle, he went into Seattle. He was the first rookie quarterback to go into Seattle and beat a Pete Carroll team. The first rookie quarterback to go into Seattle and beat a Pete Carroll-led team. That is crazy to me. And again, all these games have been huge. And Brock Purdy is learning. He's getting all these games are good for his development. I think he's going to be poised and calm. He has been poised and calm. To me, there's no reason to believe that he will not keep it up. Like, I feel he's going to keep cooking. He played a lot of games in college. That helps. He just seems like the moment's not big for him. It's not big for him. It's amazing. Peter says Brock will do it in the playoffs. He has ice in the veins, doesn't he? Unbelievable. Yeah, I think Brock Purdy can do it. And another reason why, I love this comment from Debbie. She says this game will be CMC's second playoff game, second of his whole career. Let's talk about Christian McCaffrey, because you can't talk about Brock Purdy and the success of this team without mentioning CMC, because Christian McCaffrey has been on an absolute tear. I mean, we know how good the team has been since they acquired him. 10-0 since he became running back 1. It's Christian McCaffrey. Let me tell you about this. If you guys have been living under a rock today, you might have missed the news. Christian McCaffrey, we got a little bit of Christian McCaffrey news today too. If you guys have been busy, Christian McCaffrey was the NFC Offensive Player of the Month. The entire month of December, Christian McCaffrey was the Player of the Month. He had 767 total yards of offense, 767 yards of scrimmage, basically. He had 27 receptions, 27 catches, and 7 total touchdowns. Christian McCaffrey is him. He is amazing. And it's crazy to me because he didn't get a Pro Bowl nod. He's not in the All-Pro. And George Kittle yesterday was like, it's crazy to me that he's not in the Pro Bowl. And we are happy that he's playing angry because he's been dominating. He says Christian McCaffrey has been playing angry because he didn't get named to the Pro Bowl. And then Kyle Shanahan today in his presser said, I can't believe he didn't get named to a Pro Bowl and All-Pro. It's stupid to me. Like, it is absolutely incredible that this man didn't get named to a Pro Bowl and All-Pro. Obviously, it doesn't matter because we want the bigger prize. But the fact of how good he's been, and they're not recognizing him for how good he is, he's been the reason the Niners have turned it around. And Brock Purdy knows how good he is, and he's utilizing him to help this offense. So those two guys have really helped this offense grow. It's Christian McCaffrey, Player of the Month, freaking Brock Purdy, Rookie of the Month. That is so amazing. I woke up, I saw back-to-back news, and I was like, oh my God. I was so hyped this morning when I saw that. I was like, well, get some recognition. It's good to see it. Like, if we see it, and then the NFL sees it, and they've been, how the hell are people not realizing how good these guys are? Like, it's amazing. And last month, Nick Bosa was the Defensive Player of the Month in the NFC. So, like, the talent this team has, you got Nick Bosa, Defensive Player of the Month. He's probably going to win Defensive Player of the Year. You got Christian McCaffrey. You have Brock Purdy. You have all this talent. Brandon Ayuk goes for 1,000 yards. Like, all this talent, there's no way in my mind the 49ers are going to lose these games against Seattle. Seattle's just not a good team compared to the Niners. It's going to be close in the first half. I'm not saying that it won't be a tough game, but I think the moment won't be too big for Brock. And they have all this talent around him. Like, they are clicking. Christian McCaffrey is going to continue to play angry. Like, he's playing angry. He's going crazy. It's amazing. The Niners are a great team. And this, I was talking to Eric Davis last night. I don't know if you guys saw the stream on Instagram. Eric Davis said this, and I cannot have said it any better. He says the 49ers are a great team, or a really good team, or pretty much borderline a great team. And they're on the verge of becoming an elite, maybe Super Bowl team. Like, they're on that cusp. Seattle Seahawks are not a great team. They might be they might be good, but he says they're more of a mediocre team. They limped into the playoffs. They started off hot, but they kind of cooled out. They're an average football team. The Seattle Seahawks, you look at them compared to the 49ers, everything has to go right for the Seahawks to win this game. Like, they have to get the turnovers. 49ers have to make mistakes. I just don't see it happening. But hey, again, that's why they play the game. It's not a gimme. But this is what I'm saying is Brock Purdy, I think, will continue to be continue to do what he's doing because of the team around him. Again, CMC, man, this guy's playing out of his mind. And we haven't even mentioned George Kittle. This guy, George Kittle, leads the NFL in the last month in touchdowns. He's got 11 touchdowns for the year. He was number 3 in touchdowns for the entire year. And he was number 1 in the last month. 7 touchdowns in the last 4 games. That's crazy to me. Number 1 touchdown leader in the NFL, Devontae Adams. And then you had number 2 was Travis Kelce. And right behind Travis Kelce was George Kittle. Top 3 touchdown scorers. It's crazy. That's how good this team has become. Because Brock Purdy has transformed this offense. And I can see him continuing everything he's doing. He's played 6 games. And the thing with the younger players, they get better. They understand the game more. The game slows down for them more. Now, of course, teams are going to, study the film and pull the, try to look at, they're going to throw different things at Brock. But I think this kid has it. He just has it. It's amazing. It's amazing. Whew, let's get to some of these comments here. 49ers Throwback says, we are getting angry CMC tomorrow and all the way to the Super Bowl. I agree. Angry CMC, you don't want to see this man pissed off. It's like the Incredible Hulk. It's like, the Incredible Hulk, you're not going to like me when I'm angry. These teams are not going to like CMC when he's angry, and that's what he's been. He's been ripping through defenses like the Incredible Hulk. Like, that's the way I picture it. When Criddle said that yesterday, when he said, we like Christian McCaffrey to be angry because he's dominating teams. I love it. Make him angry. Keep snubbing that man. Keep snubbing him. Keep telling him he's not good. Because guess what he's going to do? He's going to prove you wrong. He's going to make you eat the biggest box of crow. Oh, my God. I love it. MG says, what color jerseys are we wearing? We're wearing the standard red jerseys, our home red jerseys. They're not wearing color rush jerseys. They're wearing their standard red jerseys on this weekend. Home jerseys. You got to wear the home jerseys at home. Heine says, Brock has the experience. He does. He's played, the 4 years in college. Now, obviously, college is not the same as the pros, but he seems so much mature than an average rookie quarterback. He just has it. We've said this earlier in the week. I made the comparison, Zach Wilson and Brock Purdy. They're both pretty much same age, I think 22, 23. They're both very young. Zach Wilson was the high draft pick, all the talent, all the, the potential, and everybody had him being this big-time star in the league, and he can't handle it because mentally he doesn't have it. He's not mature enough. Brock Purdy, last pick in the draft, man has nothing to lose, everything to gain. He's so mature. He's so much more wiser, and he's humble. The way he carries himself, it's a humble young man. Big difference, mental aspect, and that's what Purdy has. 49ers Throwback says, hey, Raj, Brock Purdy is smart, and he reads the field better. That's it. He's so smart. Like, you could see the reads. We've talked about it this week of how he makes his progressions, and I think that's why we're able to extend the plays. That's why we're able to have this offense that we're seeing, this 33.5-point offensive explosion compared to 21 points at the beginning of the season. It's a lot. That's a lot more points. This is like a 12-point swing. That's a lot of points. That's like 2 score game. That's a big difference in points. You're going to win games when you're scoring 33.5 points. And Brock Purdy extends plays. They get it in the red zone. We talked about how he's unlocked George Kittle. And the reason he's unlocked George Kittle, if you watch the film, if you watch the game, he's not going to that first read. He's not checking it down. He's not going to take that first easy read, which is not a bad thing. He's looking to make those progressions. He extends the plays. Kittle's going to be your third read most of the time. That's just him in this offense. And Brock knows it. So he's like, okay, first read, I don't want to go. Second read, no. Oh, shit, George Kittle, I'm going to dime it to him. And he, most of the time, gets it to him when he needs it to him in the big moments in the red zone. And that is why we're scoring more points. He's extending the plays. He goes for those bigger plays. He doesn't check it down. If you can keep the play extended a little bit longer and you can let the play open up, you're going to get the big play. And that's what Brock's doing. Sometimes you want to have a few, like a millisecond, a half a second more, just let the play open up and let the guy get open. That big guy, the big play guy. I mean, yes, you can check it down. And with this offense, because they're yak bros, yak specialists, they can take a little 2-yard play, a little 3-yard play, a little 4-yard play, and extend it 10 yards, 8 yards, 9 yards, 10 yards, dink and dunk. And you're going to get down the field. It's going to take a long time. You'll score, but you're going to waste a lot of the game. And that's why the Niners weren't scoring a lot of points. It's because their drives took so long. It's like, okay, a 3-yard little dink and dunk. Now we got to go to first down. Okay, then we got to mix the run game. It took forever to score. And then by the time sometimes you get to the red zone, you're tired or you're not going to throw it to Kittle because he's that third read, and you settle for a Robbie Gould field goal. Robbie Gould's rusty. That's why I missed that field goal in against the Raiders. That's what I think. But now we're scoring quick. We can march down the field pretty damn quick. 5-6 plays, they're scoring. 5-6 plays. Boom, 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 boom. Red zone comes. George Kittle over the middle. Kittle over the middle. Touchdown. Brandon Ayuk saucing up defenders. Touchdown. It's amazing. Brock Purdy's going to continue this. Rookie of the month. Pepsi Rookie of the Week. Brock Purdy's going to take us far. I love it. Whew. Peter says, Brock has unlocked the entire offense. He really has, man. It's phenomenal to see. And, I like this. We're going to do this. We're going to do this exercise. We're going to do this exercise today. But before I get to that, I like this. I want to talk about how this team is healthy now. And we'll get to this. This team is absolutely healthy. The only two players that are ruled out for Saturday are Ambry Thomas, who's got an ankle issue, which I don't know, how did he irritate his ankle when he didn't play? I'm not even gonna touch that one, but I'm just throwing it out there. And Jimmy Garoppolo, who obviously he's rehabbing, he's coming back from the injury. He really doesn't count. You basically have one injury, Ambry Thomas. This whole team is healthy. Dre Greenlaw's back. Aaron Banks, Kevin Givens, Debo, Mitchell. The whole team is healthy. Kinlaw's back. Armstead. Everybody is healthy. Obviously, Emmanuel Mosley's not. He's injured. But this whole team is injured. Is healthy. Sorry, they're not injured. I'm so used to this team being injured. This team is all healthy. It's crazy. This whole team is healthy coming into the playoffs. Can you just say it to yourself? How crazy does that sound? How many times have we sat here? Oh, my God, injury. The 49ers with the little wheelchair logo. All the memes. All these years, this team has been so damn injured, and people make fun of this team, the most injured team in the NFL. They're probably the most healthiest team coming into this playoffs. It is incredible to me. And that is another reason I think Brock Purdy and the 49ers will continue this. They'll continue it because they're healthy. It's all about having your star players healthy and active. And, 49ers, we know they have great depth, but their star players are healthy. And their star players are probably better than any other teams out there. And they're healthy. That's dangerous for this NFL. That's dangerous for the league. Every team is going to fear this team if we stay healthy through the whole thing. Amazing. It is absolutely amazing to be healthy at this time of the year. Debbie, I agree with you. It is an incredible field because usually we always have some injuries. Oh, my God, are we going to be able to get next man up? Can this guy step up? Can this rookie step up? Literally everybody's healthy. That is on the 53-man roster. Nia says all of our offensive weapons are healthy. What a time to be a Niner fan. What a time to be a Niner fan. Everybody's healthy. I love it. I love it. I love it. The official, Emmanuel Mosley's back. No, he's the only one that, like I said, out of all the players that are active on the roster right now that are not on the injured reserve list, he is, everybody's pretty much healthy. But unfortunately for Emmanuel Mosley, he's not back. I wish he was. That was the biggest injury of the year. Definitely Cheesecake. No excuses. We got no excuse. This team has no excuses. You're right. I will say that. I will agree. There's no excuses. This team is healthy. They should be able to beat anybody with their healthy roster. You know how every year we sit here and say, I see this all the time. Whenever we're doing like record predictions, and we post the schedule, and we always ask, content creators on our social media pages, we always ask, everybody asks this question. If you have a social page, whenever the schedule comes out, what do you think the record's going to be? Everybody posts that damn post, right? What do you think the record's going to be? And most of the people, I in the comments, it's always, well, if the 49ers are healthy, I could see them doing blah, 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 blah. I could see them winning Super. I could see them going 13-4. If the 49ers are healthy, they should win a Super Bowl, because that's the talent we have. This team is a Super Bowl caliber team. The Niners are healthy. We should win a Super Bowl. They say it every year, right? I agree with you. No excuses. We got to run it, baby. To get that 6. It's time to get that 6. One game at a time, but the 49ers are good enough to win the Super Bowl this year. I very much stand by that. The team is amazing. Look, you got the players on defense. That defense is tough. D'Amico Ryans is our DC, right? And we'll talk about D'Amico. This man's got 4 teams trying to interview this man. He says, "No, wait. Just wait a minute. I got a Super Bowl to run." If D'Amico Ryans and this defense go crazy in the playoffs and the 49ers win a Super Bowl, do you know how good that's going to make him look for all these teams that want him? Do you know how that's going to be the ultimate resume builder right there? If D'Amico Ryan and the 49ers win a Super Bowl, that is going to be the ultimate stat pad for his resume. And he's going to sit there and say, "Okay, come at me, baby. Victory, Super Bowl victory Monday, come at me." And he's to say, "Look, I won a Super Bowl. I was the number one. I had the number 1 defense in the NFL. Just pay me my money." So that is motivation that we have. D'Amico and this Super Bowl and this defense, if they win a Super Bowl, it's huge for this team. Beast mode, I probably will. I haven't bought a ticket. Tickets are pretty cheap right now. But the only reason I haven't yet is I'm debating about the rain. Just because I've been sick. I don't want to get sick again. I want to go to the playoffs. And if we win this game, I'll go to the next round. Because this is a wild card game. I want to go to the big games. NFC Championship costs a little bit more money. So I'm trying to spend my money wisely here on the playoffs. I might go to all of them. It's a lot of money. I do want to, if we make the Super Bowl, I want to go to that game too. So I'm trying to spend my money wisely. It's going to be a rainy game. I got some friends that want me to go watch the game at their house. So I'm kind of wavering in between. I'm not decided yet. I'll probably decide some point tomorrow. I mean, I have to. Game's in 2 days. So we'll see. Our SF 49ers, big fan. Yo, appreciate you. We got my biggest fan over here. Look at that. This guy. I got a troll account for my, I love it. A Stan account. It says, coming from 3-4, and then boom, in a 10-game win streak, 13-4, and the playoffs. Our players are healthy, and they can't get any better. I couldn't have said it any better than myself. My troll account, I couldn't say it any better than my troll account. This is love. I love it. The official 999, Lenore's trash, poop, crap, poop, whatever you want to call it, respectfully. Now, I had a big conversation with Eric Davis last night because a lot of people are hating on Lenore. He's young. He's a second-year player. He's going through the ups and downs. He's played pretty solid. I know these last 2 weeks he's had some ups and downs, but second half of the game, they didn't score on him. They didn't make big plays. He's had some bad series. He's had some bad drives. If you watch that game again, I mean, I know it wasn't that big of a push, but A.J. Green did push off. He did push off. He's the veteran. Lenore's not going to get that call, man. 9 times out of 10, Lenore's not going to get that call. Second-year player against A.J. Green, 10-year-plus veteran. They're going to give that to A.J. Green any day of the week. I mean, it wasn't a big push, but he did push off. But honestly, Lenore hasn't played horrible this year. People are mad because he made a few bad plays here and there. But what happened in the second half? The 49ers shut him down. Lenore was playing. He was out there. He was making plays. It just, people see a few bad plays and they write the player off. He's going to come back, and I think he's going to make a big play. It's all mental. I really have a feeling that Lenore is going to make a big play this weekend. And a lot of people are going to be like, "Oh, Lenore." That's my prediction. I could be wrong. I could be absolutely wrong. But keep that same energy. If he makes a big play, keep that same energy. He's a young player, man. These players are going to go through ups and downs. Not every play is going to be perfect. That's my take on it. I think Lenore is going to step up and do something big. I don't know. I just see it. So Beast Mode says, let's give Gibson his flowers. Whoo! We've been giving Gibson his flowers, man. Gibson has been an absolute underrated steal. I love this signing. The guy's been amazing. I can't talk about this guy enough. 5 interceptions. You're absolutely right, Beast Mode. He's making the interception that Jaquiski Tartt couldn't make. That's all I'm going to say. The official, I hear you, and I hope you're right. I hope I'm right, too, right? We all want them to step up. But we need these guys to play good and lock in and put those bad plays to rest, right? Sometimes you're going to make mistakes. I hope I'm right, too. So, but I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you and say he's been playing phenomenal the last 2 weeks, because he has played bad. He has had some bad moments. You're right, and I totally agree with you. But I think that he has the ability to bounce back because this team is great. And if the defense gets that pass rush on Geno, the secondary is going to be having a field day. So we'll see. They're going to test them. They're not going to throw to Mooney Ward. They're obviously going to test Lenore, and as they should. You don't want to. I mean, if you're a coach, Geno Smith, whatever. If you're the other team, what are you going to do when you're dropping back? Are you going to look at Mooney Ward and say, we're going to test them? No, you're not going to want to test them most of the time. You're going to look around and say, we're going to try to hit Lenore. We're going to try to go get him. So makes sense. He's going to get a lot of opportunities, and hopefully he makes the most of them. So we'll see. Michael says, do I think we're going to see some trick plays? I think there's going to be trick plays from Seattle. I think there's going to be a trick play from the 49ers. These teams are going to throw out the kitchen sink. Kyle Shanahan, he's cooking. He's got something up the bag. We know he's got something. We know he's got something up his sleeve, man. I know that Kyle Shanahan's going to be throwing something. I think someone in the comments, Beast Mode says, CMC TD pass to Debo. Oh, I would lose it. Maybe Trent Williams touchdown. Little Trent Williams touchdown. Trent Williams has a cannon. He has a little bit of an arm. If you remember in training camp, there was a mic'd up, and they showed Trent Williams launch that shit. Maybe get Trent Williams throw a little touchdown to someone, or maybe he'll catch a touchdown. I want to see Trent Williams get a touchdown. I would be cool to see CMC throw a touchdown to Debo. I would love that idea, Beast Mode. I do think there will be a trick play, though. I don't know what it's going to be, but I would bet money on the 49ers running a trick play. I would love to see it. So Raj Sangana says Trent was catching passes from Purdy today. Yeah, I saw that. Who posted that? Was it Matt Barrows or I can't remember who posted it, but I saw that video. He was throwing in the Trent. You never know. Juice to Purdy touchdown. I don't know. We'll see. I can feel a trick play coming. I know it. I see it. Maxim says Brock is going off for at least 3 tutties. Woo! Brock going for 3 touchdowns. Wow. Oh, that's who it was. It was Lombardi. Yeah. Michael says I saw Lombardi throwing a video of Brock throwing to Trent. Yeah, I did see that. I don't know if it was Barrows or Lombardi, but thank you for clearing that up. It was Lombardi, and there was a video of Brock and Trent. You never know. I didn't want to post it because I was like, I don't want to give out the secrets. Why you posted that, Dave? We'll see. I would love to see it. Hey, Boogie says, is Huff our version of Trayvon Diggs? Seen a lot of people say that. Low-key, kind of, yeah. I mean, right now it's boom or bust. He's just got to trust himself. It's just overanalyzing. He's just too aggressive right now. It's what we've been talking about. Is Huff is a little overanalyzing things. He just got to stay back and trust his eyes. That's it. It's trusting the eyes. I don't think he's trusting his eyes enough. We talked about Eric Davis. We talked about Eric Davis last night. He pretty much said the same thing. He's got to trust his eyes, and he's got to slow it down a little bit. So hopefully Hufanga can turn it around, because he has been like that. Trayvon Diggs he'll overanalyze the plays. He'll kind of like try to jump on it, and if he miss it, boom, it's a big play. But if he doesn't miss it, big play our way, right? Touchdown, interception, whatever the case is. So Hufanga's played well this year. He still has taken a big leap, so I'm not going to sit here and hate on him. Pro Bowl, second year Pro Bowler. But he's had some rough weeks here and there in terms of coverage. He's just overanalyzing things. So 49er Jeff says don't sleep on the Seahawks. I agree, man. I mean, they're gonna come in and play their ass off. They got nothing to lose. It's a rivalry game, division game. They're coming on with revenge on the mind. I'm sure they're sick and tired of hearing everybody talking about how good the Niners are. And Pete Carroll said, oh, the Niners are so good. We got to play them, unfortunately. And they know this team is great. The Seahawks know it. They've been beat by them twice this year. They want to play with revenge. They're going to play tough. But the Niners, I don't think they'll sleep on them. They know what's at stake. This team is hungry. The Niners are very hungry because they've come so close so many times, right? Especially with Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch, that regime. They've come close many times, right? 2019, I don't want to talk about it, but we know what happened. Last year, I don't want to talk about it, but we know what happened. This team is very close. They're so close. This team, there's probably a pit inside their stomach. There's probably a hole in their heart from those moments that they know they could have made, right? And they've come so close, but they just couldn't seal the deal. I think this team this year, they're going to be so hungry, and they're coming, man. They're coming for blood. So I would save the trip plays for the NFC Championship game or our own version of the Philadelphia special for Super Bowl. I mean, yeah, you would probably – you don't want to throw every trick out there this week, but it's Kyle Shanahan, man. This guy's cooking something up every – I'm pretty sure he's going to have a trick for every week. He's going to have a different trick for every week. You know what I mean? Boy's going to be pulling out the tricks. I'm telling you, I have a feeling that Kyle's going to be in his bag this week, cooking it up. Next week, cooking it up. And then the NFC Championship, cooking it up. I think so. But again, I think there will be a trick play this week. We'll see. Eric, Bosa is going to have 3 sacks this Sunday. I'm calling. You know, somebody else at work told me that today. They said the same thing. This is the second time I've heard someone say Bosa will get 3 sacks this weekend. I hope so. I feel like now playoff Bosa's coming. He's hungry. Those last 2 weeks he didn't get, a lot of sacks like we all thought he would. And I think this time he's ready to just let it rip. And I think Geno Smith, it's going to be a rainy game. The elements, I think Nick is going to come out and split. I have him coming down for 2 sacks. I've heard some other people say 3 sacks. I would love to see that. But I think Nick Bosa is going to make a big impact. He should be the defensive player of the year this year. And I think he's going to solidify that. I think he has solidified it, but I think he's going to show the world on the playoff stage. I am the man. I am him. And I agree. I think he'll have a big game. But 2 sacks is my prediction. 3 would be amazing. Playoff Bosa. Peter says, we will do what it takes to beat this team 3 times. That's what we hope for. I would hate to lose. I would hate to see the playoffs come to an end against the Seattle Seahawks. God, it would be gross. It would be so gross. But I think we're going to do it. I think the Niners will pull it off. Again, my prediction was about a 10-point game. I think that's the line. I think it's 9.5, 10 points. I think we're going to win by 10. So we'll see. Big Fish was good, baby. Showboat says, hopefully Brock doesn't have small hands in the rain like Alex Smith. Let's hope Brock Purdy can hold on to the ball and not turn it over. I agree. I think that's going to be a key, is definitely not having mistakes and turnovers. We got to limit those mistakes. But again, I've been sitting here saying I think the Niners are going to win this game. I'm pretty confident in it. I'm not too worried. Again, I think Seattle will come out tough. They'll play strong, but Niners should win. And again, Brock Purdy, man, Rookie of the Month, man. This guy, man, Pepsi Rookie of the Week and the Rookie of the Month on the same day. Like, Brock Purdy must be so hyped up right now. But the amazing thing about Brock is he just sits there and he's so humble. He's like, yeah, the accolades are cool, but I still got a lot to do. I still got a lot to learn. I'm not perfect. I just go out there. He says, I just go out there and do the plays that are on there and what Kyle needs me to do. I just get the ball to the playmakers. And that's why I love Brock so much. He's so humble, man. He gives all the credit to his teammates. He says, look, I'm just out there facilitating the ball. Kid is smart. He's such a humble guy. And I think that's why he's going to just keep rolling, man. So to answer my own question, will Brock Purdy keep it up? I think so. I really do. There was a question earlier. I want to get back to this. I skipped over it and I didn't get to it. Let me go back to it. Let me see if I still have that come. Let me find it. This was a really good, it's kind of an exercise we're going to do. We're going to play this game. I'm going to find it. I've been sick for months now. Yeah, I have. Oh, man. This is a good question we should get to. When did you guys first hate the Seahawks? Which Seahawks did you hate the most? I mean, I've always hated them. Even when I was younger, we played them. But this is the time I hated the Seahawks. It's before, the Harbaugh era. That really made me hate them because the Navarro Bowman, when they threw popcorn at him when he got hurt. To me, the moment I was sick to my stomach when I saw Jerry Rice go to the Seahawks. I mean, it was towards the end of his career. Obviously, he went to the Raiders after the Niners, whatever. I was salty about that. And I see this man go to the Seahawks. I was sick. I was like, Jerry Rice, just fucking retire. Why are you going to this team in Seattle? And at the time, Seattle was like a trash dumpster fire, horrible team, horrible. I was sick. Jerry Rice in a Seahawks uniform made my stomach churn. I see it when I see those pictures of him in the Seahawks. I'm just, are you kidding me? The fact that Jerry was on the Seahawks made me sick. That's when I first started hating him, like a lot. And then, of course, 2011, 2012, 2013, that Harbaugh era. I mean, that was our big rival. They kept beating us. Richard Sherman. That's the results you're gonna get. Oh, made me sick to my stomach. Hated them. Pete Carroll chewing the gum, and the rest is history. So, definitely, man. I've always hated them, but that's really what did it for me. Let me find this comment. There's another comment I wanna. Let me see. I gotta find this comment. It was pretty good. Let me see. Give me a second, and I will find it. But you guys drop. When did you start hating them, and all that good stuff? Dang it! I cannot find it. Oh man, I can't find this comment. Man, there's so many comments. Shout out to the chat. You guys are amazing. Look at how many comments you've been dropping in here. Just make sure you hit that like button, all that good stuff. Subscribe. I never say that enough. But yeah, hit that like button. You guys are amazing. Going crazy in the chat. I love y'all. Appreciate it. Let's talk. Let me find this comment. I cannot find it. Oh man. Sheesh. So many comments. It's crazy. Oh man. Oh man, I cannot find it. Oh, here it is. Here it is. We found it. Okay. Man, there's a lot of comments to go through. Shout out to the chat. You guys are amazing. Oh man. Let me read some of your comments. 49ers throwback says hates Matt Hasselbeck, Bobby Ingram, and Sean Alexander. Oh man, I hated them. Matt Hasselbeck, I hated that dude. I remember when Patrick Willis intercepted him, got that pick six. That was amazing. 49er Jeff says, who do you think will be the player of the game? That's a good question. I think it's going to be CMC, man. I really feel that he's just on this tear right now, and I think CMC is going to be the reason we win this game. I think Brock will have a good game. I think Kittle will step up. I think Debo will definitely step up, but I feel like the offense is just built through CMC right now, and I think CMC will be the reason we win this game. I have a feeling it's going to be rainy. You got to run the ball, and to me, all signs point to CMC tearing it up. So let's see. Oh man, good stuff. Okay, so here's the question. Let's play. This is kind of like an off-season kind of deal, right? This is kind of an off-season type of deal, but I like this question. We're going to entertain it. So let's play start one, bench one, and cut one, right? So 49ers quarterbacks, you got to either cut one, you got to start one, and you got to bench one, right? So you got Brock Purdy, you got Jimmy Garoppolo, and you got Trey Lance. Those are your 49er quarterbacks right now. So what would you do? To me, I'm cutting Jimmy. There's no disrespect to the man, but this was his last season with the team. He's going to be a free agent. There's no need to bring him back. You got two young quarterbacks, two young signal callers on rookie quarterback contracts. They need to pay Nick Bosa the blank check. They need to bring back. They need to extend Ayuk. They need to pay a couple other guys. To me, it's simple. You cut Jimmy Garoppolo, let him go to another team. The Jets, the Colts. I don't care where he wants to go or where he goes. Have a good life. I love you. Thank you for everything you've done. You've done great. You were a class act, but we don't need him. You have two young quarterbacks. So we cut him. He's going to go somewhere and get paid one more time in his career and enjoy that. So, but shout out to Jimmy. He really helped change the culture. But, we don't need him when you got two young quarterbacks. And now here comes the big question. If Brock Purdy leads this team to a Super Bowl, he's starting. I'm sorry, he's starting. He's already started 5 games, about to start his first playoff game. And I love Trey, but he's going to be coming off a massive injury. I guess you got to bench him right now. And let him rehab and let him compete. And if he comes out in training camp and goes crazy and shows everybody this is why they wanted me, and he's your quarterback. But I think right now, if Brock Purdy leads you to a Super Bowl, I mean, how are you benching a Super Bowl quarterback? I mean, I know the Eagles did it, right, when they had Nick Foles, Carson Wentz, because Carson Wentz was the big money guy, the guy they wanted to build this team around. But, man, to me, if Brock takes this team all the way to a Super Bowl, it would be hard to bench that guy. So that's my answer on it. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. What do you guys got? So Mason says start Brock, bench Trey, cut Jimmy, same as me. Mason says he's the starter based on what he's done already. Yeah, you can make that case 100%. I love it. Let's see the comments. So Greg's alive. Want Debo to have a long touchdown. Raj says Trey QB1, Brock QB2, cut Jimmy G. I mean, yeah, definitely. They brought in Trey for a reason, right? You got to give him his chance. He's going to rehab. But again, Brock winning the Super Bowl changes a lot. A Boogie says start Purdy, bench Trey, cut Jimmy. Michael says start Brock, cut Jimmy, bench Trey. I think everybody's pretty much on the same page here. But again, it's going to be an interesting offseason. By far and away, the 49ers offseason is always crazy. But I'm glad we don't have to worry about an offseason just yet. But there will be a battle between Brock and Trey. It's going to be so crazy. But you know what? I still got to say this. I'm going to support both of these guys, Trey and Brock. And they're both on this team, man. I already know there's going to be a lot of dissension amongst the fans. There's going to be a lot of nastiness. And I'm not ready. I always hate that. But I just want to support them both. Whoever comes out on top and they name the starter, I'm rocking with them. But, hey, they're both good young. They're both such good young men. They're both very humble, got good mindsets. So whoever it is, I'm rocking with them. But I think right now, based on how he's playing and based on how the season's going, it's hard for me to say that they're going to bench Brock, man. It's crazy to me that he's playing out of his mind. But I know, Trey Lance, you went and drafted him with the number 3 pick. You traded all of these picks for him. But Kyle Shanahan has showed us, and he's proven to us, that you need to have good depth at every position, especially quarterback. You need another good quarterback. If your quarterback goes down, Jimmy Garoppolo has been doing it every year, and they never had a good backup. Now they had 2 good backups, and now the third quarterback came out of nowhere, and it shows that he might be the best one out of them. But you definitely need depth. 2 young quarterbacks. It's good to have, a little bit of a controversy. The 49ers are known for quarterback controversy, right? Joe Montana, Steve Young, the biggest quarterback controversy of all time. Keep them both. I love it. Fuel to the fire. I'm happy for them both, man. They're both good young men. But at the end of the day, I think it's Brock's job to lose right now, the way he's playing. We'll see. It's crazy to me. Sydney says, thoughts on Gold if it comes down to a kick? Yeah, I think he's a little rusty this last couple of weeks because they haven't really been kicking field goals. When Jimmy's there, they kick a lot of field goals. They get into that red zone. They can't score, so they got to score. They got to score field goals. We talked about this. Now Brock, he knows how to extend the plays. He's finding Kittle in the red zone, and they're scoring at a higher pace, a higher clip, 33.5 points, and they're scoring touchdowns. I feel like Gold might be a little rusty. That Vegas game, that was an absolute diabolically bad kick, at the end of regulation, and he missed it bad. He definitely made up for it. He makes the game-winning field goal. But I think I think in the playoffs, Gold will be okay. He is a phenomenal kicker. He's one of the greatest of all time as far as kickers. But I do think he might be a little rusty. So hopefully we get to see. I don't know. I trust him. I do feel that Gold, if it comes down to a field goal and we need a big moment and we need him to kick it, I think he will because he's got ice in his veins. But I do feel he is a little rusty. They've been scoring a lot of points, and they don't score field goals like they were at the beginning of the season when Jimmy was quarterback. So that's it. That's my take on it. I think that he is a little rusty. So we'll see. But again, playoffs, the guy's beast. He knows how to kick these. He's been doing it for years. So I'm not worried because he is a veteran of the league. He's been kicking field goals for years upon years. So I'm not worried. He knocked that rust off of him. So, yeah, I hope so too. If it comes down to a field goal and we miss it, I'm going to be so sick. I'm going to be sick. Everybody's going to be sending nasty letters to Gold. We already know it. And the fans are going to be upset. Because I'm telling you, man, this man got paid a lot of money. They paid him a lot of money. Remember, they gave him an extension. They paid him a lot of money. This man has one job. Go out there and kick those field goals for us. Because if he sells, he might want to turn his Instagram comments off because he's about to be dirty. So he needs to go out there and figure it out and do his job. But I think he'll be okay. I pray that he will be. I'm praying that this man is going to be okay. You and me both, Sydney. Julia says Gold has never missed field goals in the playoffs, and that is why I'm confident in the man. The guy knows how to get it done when it matters most. Again, ice in the veins. He's clutch. Let's hope he continues that streak. But so again, I'm not worried because the man has proven himself time and time again in the playoffs. He's done it for his whole career. The guy's clutch money. So I got faith in my boy. E111, it shouldn't come down to a field goal. You never know. You never know. Playoffs are wild, man. My blood pressure will be through the roof if it does come down to the field goal. How many times have the Niners got down to games where it comes down to field? It happens very much so. I don't know about this game, but sometime in the playoffs, we got a lot of games. You know, it's going to be a battle these playoffs. You never know. And if it does, I got faith in my boy Robbie. Michael says, considering the weather Saturday, we could see more field goals than touchdowns possibly. And that is a very good observation. It's a very good comment, actually. You're absolutely right, Michael. This might be one of those knockdown, drag-out type of games. Run, run, run. You know, teams are going to be stalling. It's going to be hard to throw the ball. And you might have to settle for field goals. So you're absolutely right. This could come down to field goals. So we'll see. You bet your bottom dollar that if it comes down to field goals, Robbie Gold is going to do his best to get us where it needs to be. So you're right. It could come down to some field goals this week, a little bit more than they have been in the last couple of weeks. Because I honestly can't remember them kicking a lot of field goals lately. It's just I don't see them because every time they drive down, it's touchdown. I'm like, let's go, touchdown. I got touchdown. I don't see them kick much field goals. It's like I forget about it. But when Jimmy was the quarterback, it's like, field goal. You got field goal. Robbie was probably tired kicking all them damn field goals. I'm not going to lie to you. Michael says, wind is going to play a factor. 10 to 20 mile-hour winds. It's supposed to have 10 to 20 mile-hour winds. That's going to really impact throwing the ball. Not just field goals, throwing the ball. So they're going to have to really run the game. It might be an ugly game. We'll see. Did I see Pete Carroll riding on the scooter? No. Did I miss? I must have missed it. I've been busy today. I got to see this. If you got it, tag me or something in it or send it to me. I'll check it out. I'm gonna, you know what? Maybe, hold up. Is it on Twitter? Let me see. Pete Carroll scooter. We got it. I got to see this. No. I got to see this. Let me see. Pete Carroll scooter. I got it. Oh, my God. Let's see. So Brandon Marshall rides a scooter down a ramp of the Seahawks main meeting room, entering for his press conference. And then he says that Pete Carroll has them everywhere, makes Seattle's environment so different. Okay, so just like Nick Bosa has been riding the scooter, right, in the locker. You guys have seen the videos people posting. He's riding the scooter. Debo and Ayuk, they've been doing that in training camp. They would drive the scooters everywhere. Pete Carroll, it makes sense that Pete Carroll's doing. He's 71 years old. Man don't want to be walking around the stadium all over the headquarters. Gets a scooter, saves his legs, saves his hips. Pete Carroll's smart. 71 years old, ride the scooter. I like it. I think that's smart for a 71-year-old man. I can't believe he's 71 years old. When I'm 71, I'm going to be riding that scooter everywhere. Bosa needs to rest them legs. Exactly. And that's why you do. You get the scooter. You rest your legs. You don't want to pull a hamstring. Get on that scooter. It's actually smart when they're on these little Segways or these scooters. I think it's actually smart. I think that's smart for Pete, man. He's 71 years old. He don't need to be walking around. What if he pulls his hip? What if he fucking throws his back out? 71 years old. He kind of looks good for 71. I ain't going to lie to you. Pete's gum is 71 years old. Prime time doing it around Colorado. I love it, man. He spends his energy chewing gum. That man chews a lot of gum. Nia says, you think it'll be a low-scoring game with the elements? I mean, it's possible. I do have it a higher-scoring game than I think most people do. I'm leaning towards it being a higher-scoring game because I think there's going to be some turnovers. we'll be in good field position. The Niners are going to run. You know, the Niners just run the ball down people's throat. So I think we'll score more than a lot of people would think. But it definitely could be a low-scoring game just because there will be elements, right? And it could be a game where it's going to be hard to move the ball. It could be. It very well could be. But I still think it's going to be like, I think, what did I say? 27-17. That was my score yesterday. I think it's around 27-17. So I think it'll be a little bit higher scoring than some people may think. So 49er Jeffs is 23-17. Yeah, close to what I got. 44 plus easy. Pete's jaw's about to give up. Y'all are funny with the gum comments. E11 says, what do you think about Geno Smith? Historically, he seems to get tunnel vision in big games. It's like you can see his face. Here we go again. I agree with that. That is definitely what I would, kind of my take on it is, can Geno play the way he played early in the season in this monster? This is the biggest game of Geno Smith's life. He's been a career backup, a journeyman backup through his whole career. This was a great year for him. Shout out to Geno. He really stepped out of the shadows and cultivated his best season. They traded away Russ. Everybody laughed at them, and he said he didn't write back. But I agree with this, that historically Geno hasn't had great success in big games. It's the biggest game of his life. He's never been a playoff quarterback, a starting quarterback in the playoffs. Everybody wants to say this for Brock Purdy. Oh, Brock Purdy's the rookie. He's never played in the playoffs, all this. Well, what about Geno, man? Nobody's saying this about Geno because I know he had a Pro Bowl season. He's played good. But if you've watched him over the last couple of weeks, like, he hasn't been that magical Geno Smith that he was at the beginning of the season. Beginning of the season was like, oh, my God, who is it? Who is this man, right? Calm down, my guy. But Geno has been kind of like Geno Smith these last couple of weeks. He hasn't been this unbelievable player over the last couple of weeks. And I agree with what you're saying, E11, is that I think that this game might be so big for him that he will not be able to perform at that high level. That's what I think, because you're right. He has never played well in big games. That's why he was always a backup. He could never elevate to that elite level that you need as a starter. So I think this is just as big of a game for Geno, if not bigger, than Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy, this is his first year in the NFL. He's a rookie. Nobody even expects him to be where he is. Although I know a lot of people didn't expect Geno to be where he is. But he's been in the league, 13 years? You got a lot more years on you. You better figure it out, my guy. So, again, great story for Geno. But this is a monster game for Geno, the biggest game in his entire NFL career. And he's had a long career. So, we'll see. Everybody wants to say that this Brock Purdy, he hasn't played in the playoffs. Nobody's talking about Geno Smith enough. So, good comment. I like that. Half the Seahawks team is damn near rookies or vets with no playoff experience. It's kind of crazy. It's a weird combination of players they have on their team because they got rid of a lot of players. They drafted a lot of guys that are starters on their team. They had a great draft. I'm not going to lie to you. But, it is definitely a collection of people that they don't really have experience. They were kind of a ragtag team. Nobody expected them to be here. And I know they're going to use that little excuse, we don't expect to be here. Like, they have a few vets, right? Tyler Lockett, DK Metcalf. Those guys have been, in big-time games. But, Geno Smith, that's their quarterback. He hasn't really had that big game. Kenneth Walker, their big running back, he's a rookie. Tariq Woolen, Kobe Bryant, they got a lot of youngsters out there. So it's going to be a test for those guys. It's a very young team overall. And the Niners, they've got a lot of experience. This is their third playoff run under the Shanahan Edwidge regime. So they got some playoff experience. And Debo's been there, and Kittle, and, Ayuk now has been there. This is his second playoff run. Trent Williams, and a lot of players on this team. Fred Warner, just a lot of experience on this team now. And one guy, though, we talked about him earlier, Christian McCaffrey, the NFC Offensive Player of the Month. This is his second playoff game of his career. I think somebody mentioned it earlier. Debbie might have mentioned it, that this is his second playoff game ever. The first time Christian McCaffrey played in the playoffs, he was a rookie back in 2018. He was a rookie. So this is a whole different CMC. He's a different player. He's wiser. He's stronger. He's better. He's at the peak of his career. And this is the playoffs for him. He's ready to go, he's going to go crazy because he was a rookie in 2018 when he was in the playoffs last time. Whole different ball game. Still a phenomenal player. But now it seems he's carrying this team. And that's why I think he's going to be the big player of this game, which I said earlier. Christian McCaffrey, to me, will be everything we've expected him and more. Like, I really think playoff Christian McCaffrey is about to go crazy. His second career playoff game, he's got a lot to prove. This guy just plays crazy. He plays with his hair on fire. The man goes out there and he works harder than everybody. And when he goes out there and has a good game, he's still never satisfied. He's like, oh, I'm sorry, I could have played better. Say that again. You're sorry? You could have played better, bro. There's been games where he was leading rusher, receiver, had 2 touchdowns, whatever, and he still didn't think he did good enough. So I love Christian McCaffrey. I think he's going to go crazy. Shout out to him for winning the Offensive Player of the Month in the NFC. What a pickup, man. I love that. Was the best midseason move of all time. I agree with what Kay Adams said last night. So we'll see. F them picks, baby. How much, Juanita says, how much do you feel weather will be a factor on Saturday's game? I mean, it's definitely going to be a massive factor. It's a rainy game. And it's going to control the way that the Niners, play. It's going to have to be a run-first game. You're going to have to be a defensive. You're going to have to really attack the Seahawks and get after them. And again, it's going to force you to maybe not throw as much. And we talked about it earlier, is there might be a little bit more field goals because you may be hard pressed to score at sometimes. The rain's going to slow team. It's going to slow you down because you got to be a little bit more careful. You got to be hot. You got to have a lot more focus on ball security. You can't fumble that ball. You got to keep that ball protected. You don't want to let it slip. Sometimes you throw it. Plus, there's going to be 10 to 20 mile an hour winds. Someone said that's going to really impact the way you're throwing the ball. So I think they'll maybe tamper down their throwing percentage a little bit. So it's definitely going to have a big impact on the game. But we'll see. Last final questions. Here we go. It's been an hour. Appreciate you guys hanging out with me for this hour. I'm excited. Tomorrow there's no practice. The team's going to, get to go through their little run-throughs. They're going to get their rest. And Saturday's the game. So we'll be live tomorrow a little bit during the day. We'll do a quick preview show. We'll do Prediction Friday. We'll do a little preview. I think I will be live on 49er First Take show at 6:15. And then I'll probably, if I have time, I'm going to try to head down to the big hype party. Travis King and everybody. They're going to have they get the Liquid Lounge. So I'm going to hanging out with the Niner fans before the game. So it should be pretty dope. Tomorrow's going to be a fun day. And Saturday is going to be crazy. What extension do we give CMC, says Beast Mode? Oh, man, that's a good question. I don't even know yet. I mean, that's a good question. I don't know yet. Definitely whatever he wants. Give CMC whatever he wants, man, just like Bosa. But I think I've heard some rumors. I've heard some things behind the scenes. I think they'll give him half of what Debo's getting. And I know that sounds crazy because CMC is doing so great and he's carrying the offense and everything. But you got to remember, running back money. He's going to be a running back. He's a running back. Obviously, he plays like a wide receiver sometimes, but he's a running back. And the running back market is a lot more watered down than wide receivers and some of these other groups, quarterbacks. So, in my opinion, I think his extension is going to be exactly half of what Debo's getting. Is that fair or not? I mean, it's based on his position, and running backs are not paid as much as some of these other positions. He might be the highest paid running back after it's all said and done, but I think he'll get basically half of what Debo's getting paid with 70. So instead of like 70 mil, it'll be like 35 mil, around that range. That's what I'm predicting him to get paid per source. Yeah, so I think his money will be half of what Debo is getting, again, because it is a running back market, and the running back market kind of sucks compared to a wide receiver market. So he's got 2 more years after this, correct, Grayson? But I still think that they're going to do like some type of restructure and change the language of the I think they're going to do a little bit of a restructure, because the reason I say this is because you got Bosa. You got to pay Bosa. You got to extend Ayuk. So there's a lot of other players. So I think what they're going to do is they're going to somehow restructure his deal. This is just my opinion, talking out loud. I think they'll restructure it somehow so they can afford to pay, Bosa and this guy and that guy, and change the way it affects the cap. That's just my thinking right now. We'll see how it goes. But I do think they'll find some way to kind of restructure his contract so they can afford to. They got a lot of people they got to pay. So let's see. E111 says, my first time catching you live. I'm really enjoying your show. Appreciate you, man. I'm glad that you caught me live. I'm glad that you enjoyed the show. We've been doing this for a long time, and I'm glad to have the YouTube. It got taken away for a while, and then I got sicker than a dog. People know. I think Nia said earlier, I've been so sick these last couple months. I really have, man. But I'm good. I'm feeling well. I can't wait for the playoffs, and I appreciate all the support I get through all my platforms. Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, everything, man. I love you guys. And, I do all this content creating for you guys. And, appreciate all the love, man. So I hope you guys have a good rest of your night. I'll probably be live on Instagram a little later. I got to get some food. And, yeah, you guys have a good night. Have a good rest of your day tomorrow. Happy Friday Eve. And let's finish out this week strong. And let's hope we get this dub on Saturday, man. I'm excited. If you're at the game and I'm there, please say what's up to me. I'm still on the fence if I'm going or not, just because of that rain. And I don't want to, again, I just don't want to get sick again. I've been sick so much. Like, I low-key am getting, like, PTSD about getting sick again. That's kind of, like, how I'm feeling. But I got to go. Like, what kind of Niner fan would I be if I'm not at a playoff game, right? But we'll see. Anyways, health is more important. I love you. Have a good night. Bang, bang. Niner gang.